I graduated high school in 1984, Laramie High School, same town that I was born and raised in. I then enrolled at the University of Wyoming, and I graduated there with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Social Studies Education in the spring of 1989. I did go back to college after I went to work. I've earned 2 advanced degrees from Eastern Illinois University. I earned a Master's of Education Administration degree in 1997, and then I went back and finished a specialist degree in 2002 in school administration. I grew up in a home with an older brother and an older sister, and my father was a person who didn't have a large formal education. In fact, his highest attainment was 8th grade. My mom graduated from high school and worked as a secretary at the University of Wyoming in my later years of high school and when I was in college. I think one of the things that I remember most about my father was the fact that he worked more than one job when I was a small child. In fact, I remember him working 3. He'd get laid off from the railroad from time to time, and he would work in a furniture store selling furniture. And I can remember spending days down there at the furniture store with him. And I also remember him vaguely working as a person in the parks department there in Laramie. So he worked hard to make sure that the family had enough. And I think that's something that has always stayed with me is his work ethic and his willingness to do whatever it took to make sure his family had what it needed. High school was a fun time. I enjoyed high school. I made lots of good friends, lifetime friends. I loved playing sports. I worked relatively hard to make sure I had good grades. My parents wouldn't accept anything else. The University of Wyoming was in my hometown. It was always a foregone conclusion that I'd be going to college. I was lucky in that tuition to the University of Wyoming was relatively cheap. I can remember paying less than $500 a semester in tuition. And so I never even thought about doing anything else. I think I always wanted to be a teacher. I liked to coach. I liked working with kids. And I loved history. It didn't dawn on me until about 1.5 years into college that teaching was something I was going to be able to do. Engineering was where I started, and it took me a while to come around to the belief that teaching was going to be something that was acceptable for me to do with my family. And I'm not sure why I thought that, but I knew that there came a time when teaching was what I was going to do, and that's what I decided to do, and I don't regret it for a minute. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but really, you need to choose something that you love to do, something that's your passion. Because if you can find a way to make your passion, something you love doing, your life's work, you really won't work. It'll be something that you look forward to getting up and doing every day. I guess I'd leave you with this thought, that high school was a great time for me, but I wouldn't go back. I enjoy each stage of my life more than the last. And I think that gives me a great outlook for the future, is that I feel like it's only going to keep getting better. And, a mantra of mine would be that don't let people control how you react to things. I control how I react to things. I don't control what other people do, but I can certainly control how I react to what they do.